Hi, everyone. I wanted to share something that I feel really excited about. It's a realization I've been having, so I hope you'll feel the excitement too. So basically, when COVID hit, I had been scheduled to teach a class on Shaar Habitochon, the Gate of Trust, in my Chabad house. And since I wasn't going to be able to do it anymore because everybody went home, Manhattan became a ghost town, literally. So my family moved to the country for a few months because there was literally no one around. But I also was so excited to finally learn Shaar Bitachon myself and have the opportunity to teach it. So instead of scheduling a Zoom class, there was so much Zoom stuff going on, I was like, you know what? I think people really like bite-sized Torah ideas. I'm going to do 5-minute clips on Shaar Bitachon. And they say when you give to others, like who's really benefiting? So honestly, I think people did benefit from hearing my clips, but I personally had a humongous transformation from learning Shaar Habitochon. The way I would say it to my husband is I feel a layer of the tzimtzum was removed. I literally felt God in my life so strongly. And honestly, it didn't go away. It really just, it elevated me to a new level. And believe me, I have plenty to work on. I'm not saying I became a tzaddikus. It really changed my life. I don't know how else to say it. But anyway, so when I was learning it, I realized somewhere halfway through that there was a class by Rabbi Shais Taub on it, and everywhere I turned, everyone was learning it. And I was like, oh, and then Chayinu was coming out with a book, and I was like, whoa, this is wild. Everybody's learning it. How did that happen? I always knew the Rebbe recommended to learn it, so I always wanted to do it. And on my own, I decided to teach it, but I didn't realize there was this collective consciousness of everybody learning Shaar Bitachon. And then I started to see that it was life-changing for everyone who learned it. Everybody spoke about it. It was life-changing. And I'm like, okay, it's not just me. There's a reason why the Rebbe recommends learning this book. But then something even more amazing happened. Right after that was when everybody started kaching in Moshiach. And while I was learning Shaar Bitachon, I started thinking to myself, okay, now that I'm getting comfortable doing these 5-minute clips, when I'm finished with the Sefer, I'm going to go on to the Rebbe's Moshiach Sichas. I say that, and in parentheses, just want to say that when the Rebbe became Rebbe, his first mimer was all about how our job is to bring the Shechina back down Lamata. So everything the Rebbe talks about in Chassidus in general is all about Moshiach. But the last 11 months of Sichas, what we call the Devar Malchus, is very, very focused on the Geula. So I always knew in the back of my mind, I want to teach that, so I'll do that next. But again, I saw it wasn't just me, the correlation between first Shaar Bitachon and then the Kach and Mashiach. It was this global shift. And I saw in a Sicha from Simchas Torah Nun Beis that the Rebbe actually says over there that one of the things that brings the Geula is strengthening our belief in Ein Od Milvado, that there's nothing but Hashem. And that is really what Shaar Bitachon does. It makes you see Hashem everywhere and realize that there's nothing but Hashem in a very powerful way. And so I was like, whoa, the correlation between everyone strengthening their trust in Hashem through learning the Sefer, and then the Kach and Mashiach and the Geula consciousness spreading, it's connected. It's not disconnected. It's actually so obvious. It's just amazing, obvious correlation. And the Rebbe also says in one of my favorite sichas from Parshas Shalach in Nun Aleph that the more you recognize Hashem's sovereignty in your life, the more it will manifest in the world. So it's not just this idea that we learn and then, okay, Hashem checks it off. Okay, they learned about Bitachon, now I'm going to bring Mashiach. No, our trust in Hashem actually causes us to see Hashem more. That is living with the Geula. And the more we live with the Geula, the more it will spread to the whole world and we'll have the full Geula. So my point in this clip is that I wanted to let you all know that now that it's been 3 years since I learned and taught Shaar Bitachon. And the Rebbe says to learn it more than once, learn it 4 or 5 times. So this would only be round 2 for me. I decided that after doing Shaar Bitachon and then doing a very big focus on the Geula and realizing the intrinsic connection between the two, now I want to teach Shaar Bitachon and go through it myself and teach it so people could also benefit from my study, like more directly connecting the two. And please God, in our strengthening our trust in Hashem, round 2, we will actually have the full Geula this time. So stay tuned.